I've got some planner hacks to help you get the most out of a lined vertical layout. Hey y'all, I'm Elisa, the Scrappy Wife behind ScrappyWife.com, and today we're going to talk about the lined vertical planner layout. I've always been drawn to this layout because I see a lot of possibility. I love the structure of the layout, and I also think it's rather flexible as well, depending on what you're wanting to organize in your planner. And so I thought we would talk today about some of the creative ways you can set this up for different aspects of your life to really get the most out of this particular lined vertical layout. Now, I do have this layout available over on my website, ScrappyWife.com, in 3 different sizes. I will be using today the grande size, which is the same as a classic size happy planner, and I'm really excited. So if you've been interested in this layout, whether you're a functional planner, a memory keeper, or you just love to play with some different planner layouts, this one is going to be incredibly versatile. I'll walk you through 6 creative ways to use it, including some time management hacks, memory keeping ideas, and fun ways to make it more functional. All right, let's do it. Okay, so I think one of the most popular ways to use the lined vertical layout is for time management, specifically an hourly planner setup. And I love this one because it comes without the hours already in there. You can adjust the hours as needed for your day. So, for instance, if you are using this layout, I would generally put the hours over here on the left-hand side. If you're wanting to use all of this for your day, you would just take a second and write the hours that your day starts. So let me go ahead and do that. Okay, so this is how my husband actually likes to use his lined vertical layout. He has the hours over here on the left, and then he just fills in what he has going on. So, for instance, it might be that you have a meeting at 9. Oops, I can write meeting, and you know it's going to last all the way till 11. Maybe you have a dentist appointment at 1. You're basically just writing in the things that are going to be happening in your day. Pick up kids. Maybe you have soccer. 7 to 9. You're just writing in your day. So it allows you to kind of easily see the flow of your day. If you have a lot of little different things going on that have specific times to them, this can be incredibly helpful just to keep track. So I think if you have a busy work life where you do have a lot of different meetings and phone calls and Zooms and all of those different things, if you're picking up all of the kids from all of the things, which I totally identify with, this can be very helpful just to make sure, see where everyone is overlapping, how that is going to work out. That is kind of the go-to. Using this as an hourly layout is really, really helpful. I think it's also very helpful to use it in a time block format. So here's what I mean by that. Perhaps you do have the times listed over here just to break up your day, but then you just want to identify different parts of your day and how you plan to use them. So for me, that might mean, hey, from about 8:30, so I'm going to actually go part way through this one, 8:30 until 3 o'clock, that is going to be prime. Actually, it's still about 3:30, prime work time. So I know that that is when work is happening in my life, in my house. Okay. And then I might also come back and say, also, the kids are going to bed. So I know from 8 to 10, that is also another time where I can get work done. All of this might be filled in. Now, I might have, hey, you know what? There's a kid appointment here. So actually, on this particular day, I'm going to get work done in this time block. And then I know that I have kid stuff. So then I'll be here again until about this one. And then no activities in the evening. So maybe I can fit in another little hour right here. This is allowing me to see when I have blocks of time in my day to get work tasks done. So then I can fill that in, and I might come in and I might say, hey, today in this time slot, I'm going to want to film, and I'm going to film video number 1, video number 2, and video number 3. And then I'm going to edit right here, and then voiceovers, product design. I can kind of figure out when I'm doing these different things. It's not that I have specific appointments and meetings and things, but I'm blocking out my time. And that can look different for different people. So let me show you another example of the time blocking. Like we talked about, this one can have some flexibility. So maybe you don't need to time block your entire day. Maybe you're just time blocking a portion of it. So perhaps you do have a lot of a busy afternoon. So maybe it starts at 3 and you have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Those are the hours that you need to plan for this day. And like I said, it might be that, hey, on this time, Maddie has band. And I might say, let's see, I might say something like Austin Gym, and mark that off for when that is. And then it might be that there is, this one's probably here, Bradley baseball, BB, and then right here, just to mark it off when everyone has that. And then what I can do is right here, I can actually use this section to list out my tasks. So I have a really easy to-do list because I don't need the whole day scheduled out. My work is in a different planner generally, so I can just have my to-do list under here. The beauty of this is, so maybe I know I have a really busy Thursday, maybe on Saturday it's actually starting in the morning, so I could come in here and do this, knowing that this is the busy part of my day. I don't actually need all the way till 10 o'clock. That's when we're hanging out with neighbors. So that might be, hey, now I have Austin has gymnastics here, and actually Bradley has baseball here, and Maddie doesn't have anything. So I could do Austin gym, baseball, Austin gym might last till there, baseball's to here. So I can schedule based on what my day kind of looks like. So if it's a morning heavy day or an afternoon heavy day, I can make those adjustments pretty easily. That's why I really do like using this for time blocking purposes, because it allows you to very visually see what your day is going to look like. And if you're trying to fit things into your day, that is really helpful. If you just need to see the flow of your day, that is also very helpful. And then, of course, if you want to incorporate a task list, I think that can be really beneficial as well. Okay, for hack number 2, let's talk task prioritization. If you are a list maker, I completely identify with you. I like making a big, long to-do list in the morning as I'm sitting down getting ready for my day, just all the things in my head that need to get done. And that can be really helpful, especially if your brain is already thinking in priorities. But it might not be, especially if you haven't had your coffee yet. You might not be thinking in priorities yet. You might just be making one big, long to-do list. However, this can be really helpful because you can prioritize. You can use this to block out some priorities. So let me do, actually, I'm going to do the smaller side of my highlighter here. I'm going to take this first section and we're going to highlight it in the pink. And this is going to be my must do's. Like this absolutely has to get done. Then in the yellow, these are my like need to do's, but it's just prioritizing what needs to be done where. Must do, should do, and then if time allows, that's what we're going to do at the bottom. And blocking it in this way allows me to easily see what that is going to look like. So up here, if I were doing this format, I would probably have a schedule up here, which is what I tend to do 11, I have live stream. At 1 p.m., I have coaching. 5 to 9, gymnastics. 5 to 6, drums. Like those are my big things for the day. I just list them out. Then you have must do, should do, and if time allows. So I must do, I might do video number 1, video number 2, and order groceries. Those are the we have to eat. So I have to have that stuff done. Should do, respond to comments, update inventory. If time allows, oh, I should do the laundry. If time allows, then I should clean up the kitchen, not just clean it up, but clean the kitchen, tidy living, and then order cleats because we need new soccer cleats. So this kind of allows me to, as I'm thinking of my to-do list, I can kind of figure out, is it a must do? Is it a probably should do? Or is it if I have time? And then when I sit down to actually start working through my day, I have it already prioritized, which I love. The cool thing is that you can use that same color coding system and you could condense it. So if you're like, hey, I actually have, I'm going to, I have some other things I need to take notes on. These are my must-do items up here. We're going to condense this. I only have 3. I have a longer list of shoulds. We're going to bring that here. And then my optional, like if time allows, I just have a couple items left on the list. And then I have room for some extra notes down here. So I can kind of block it off in that way. And that can be really helpful to see like, hey, there's a lot to do on this particular day, or I don't have as much to do. So I can block it off in a little bit of a different way. Love that. Love the idea of prioritizing your to-do list as you are getting set for your day, your week, so that you can see the tasks that are in front of you. Okay, so let's talk about creating. We kind of looked at it a little bit, but hack number 3 is creating a hybrid to-do list and notes section. So here is what I am talking about on getting this organized. So again, I would put at the top, this would be my schedule. So again, 1 p.m., you have something, 4:30, and 7. Perhaps you have a schedule, things that meetings, whatever the case may be. Then you have a task list. Let's bring in a color because I always like blocking. I think that's one of the pros of this particular layout. So we have our tasks right here that we're going to block off, which is really helpful. These are the tasks that are getting done on this particular day. And then you have this section at the bottom that is great for notes. And here's what I mean by notes. This could be a habit tracking section. Maybe you're tracking some different habits. You already have the lines. It's very helpful. Maybe you are making notes on the dinner that you're going to have that evening. Maybe you're making notes on health. Maybe you're keeping track of your workout. This is kind of an open section. I love that you can have your little bulleted task list right here. And then right here, you can do lots of room for just writing, maybe an extra list, maybe an overflow of like, hey, these are the things that I didn't get done today. I want to assign them to another day, whatever the case may be. But being able to block it in that format is really helpful. And I think the lines just make it really easy to write a very organized list as opposed to some of the open space on some of the other layouts. This is going to be very functional, very linear, makes sense to most of our brains. Okay, here is another hack. This is a kind of a funky approach, I think, to aligned vertical, but if it works for you, this might be really awesome. If you do not have a lot of different appointments and scheduled activities during the week, maybe it's very similar week to week, you don't have to write down a schedule, it's pretty similar. This is a fun idea. So at the top, that is where I would put schedule. This is the schedule for the day, things that need to, appointments, meetings, whatever. These are your schedules up here. Then you take each column, hear me out right here. You take each column and you're going to organize the column by subject matter. So it's not necessarily driven by day, meaning this one's not just for Thursday, but this is a subject matter based column, kind of like a themed column approach that allows you to organize some different things. For instance, let me just get my little color coding on. I'm only using half the page, but this might be meal planning slash prep. Sorry, got it squished in there. Meal planning slash prep. So for the whole week, you're just writing down all the different meal plans for the day. Maybe you want to list out, you could get really specific. You could do scriptures. Hey, if you're wanting to list out scriptures that you are reading throughout this week, by all means, list it on here. It's for the whole week, but you're working in some different columns. Maybe you are tracking some health symptoms and you just need a little journaling spot. You just keep it all in that particular column. And then maybe you have one column that is like a task list of things that need to get done that week. But you're kind of dividing, it's almost like having two separate planners. This is just your weekly planner, Monday through Sunday. And then these are just columns that you are organizing different parts of your life that fit into a different bucket. And I like this idea because not all of us have a million appointments to keep track of, but a lot of us want to focus on some different areas of our life: faith, wellness, budgeting. You might just be writing, hey, these are the expenses. This is what I spent this week, and just keeping like a running log on that weekly planner. You could fit 7 different categories because you have seven different days in your week, and it gives you a place to write notes or make lists within that category. It's a different way to think about it, which I think is pretty cool. I kind of even think like when I see my kids and they are organizing, they could have their school schedules the same, like every day. They could list their after school activities up here on the top, the different things that are going on. And then they could have each subject: math, reading, science, foreign language, and write out like, oh, this is stuff that needs to get done this week for that subject. Not necessarily that day, but for that subject, so they can check in and then cross things off throughout the week. I think it could work really well. Like I said, if it makes sense in your head, if you don't have a lot of different schedule things, but you do have some different parts of your life you're wanting to track and take notes and make lists for, that's a different way to look at it. I think color coding would be really helpful for that, to block off those different colors. And then you could decorate depending on the themes that you wanted. Maybe you don't need as much room for the health symptoms, so that's where you're putting some of your decorative stickers. So a different way to look at it, but certainly pretty functional still. Okay, how about using the vertical lined planner, hack number 5, using it as a memory keeping tool? I had never really thought of using a lined vertical as a memory keeping planner. I tend to think of the vertical planner for that, or a specific memory planning insert. But this can work really well, especially those of you that prefer to do a little bit of journaling. Maybe you don't have a ton of photos. Love this. So obviously this is set up for, you can journal very easily down this. It's not a ton of lines, so it's not like a big blank space to fill out, but you could simply journal each day and have a little bit of memory keeping through that day. I think that would be totally fun. If you wanted to incorporate memory keeping into kind of your standard planner, what about this? What if at the top here, this is where you had kind of the picture. This is where you either had a sticker or a picture, something that represented your day, maybe a little doodle, whatever the case is. Then you had your actual plans for the day. It was plans and to-dos. You listed your schedule. Let's see, maybe you have your schedule right here. You just have a couple of things, and then you were listing your top 3 tasks. And that was your kind of plan. You didn't need a lot of room. And then at the bottom, this would be an area. I'm just highlighting it so you can kind of see how it would be broken up. You could do all kinds of different colors. You could use washi tape to separate the two. This would be a memory or a highlight. So it could refer to what you put up here. It could just be a moment. It could be a quote that someone shared with you that day or something funny your kid or grandkid said, but a memory. If you did that throughout the year, at the end of the year, you would have this really cool hybrid memory keeping system that was your to-dos, what you were doing day in and day out, but also just a highlight from each and every day that you would be able to look back on with pictures kind of mixed in and out. It would be a neat hybrid system that I think could be really unique and create a very nice keepsake for yourself or for your family, just as a record of what went on this past year. So think of using it in that way. There's lots of creative, sure, it's super, super functional, but it's also fabulous to use in different ways, like memory keeping, like faith planning, as you put scriptures up here and take notes. You can format it in different ways. It's just these lines make it so great for journaling purposes. Okay, last but not least, let's talk about a hack to make this work for meal planning and health tracking. And I used this for a good chunk of time as my health and wellness planner insert. And here is what I did. I would have this top section. I just like using the highlighters to kind of point out what was what. So this top section was where I recorded the details of a workout. So this was workout, and I would write how many miles I walked, how long it was, all the workout details. Then I would break down these sections to do some meal tracking. So breakfast, lunch, sorry for the construction noise in the background, dinner, and snacks. That is how I would break that down. So breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks. And then this bottom section would be like a health check-in. So if I was experiencing symptoms of some sort, headaches, anything like that, if I noticed I was feeling extra tired, this would be like a check-in section. This could also be where you are tracking habits, tracking sleep, but dividing it up like that gave me a spot for everything throughout the day. And of course, you can flip things around. You might not want to track your meals. Maybe you're tracking specific stats like your weight or your blood pressure or things like that. Maybe your sleep habits that you're wanting to track. Those things can be tracked very easily in an organized way. And again, blocking it off with the color in the line vertical can be super, super helpful. All right, so those were my 6 creative lined vertical planner hacks. Whether you are into time blocking, task lists, memory planning, whatever the case may be, the line vertical might be a great solution for you. It might be a method that you can really tweak and adjust to really work for your lifestyle. I'd love to hear which one kind of triggered some thoughts in your head. Which one were you like, oh, that is something I'd like to try? Let me know a hack that you want to give a try in the lined vertical, or if you have a different purpose for the lined vertical that you are currently using, I would love to hear from you down below. It's so awesome when we have great conversations down there and you all comment on each other's. It's just great. I love the community that forms in the comments. So be sure to take some time and leave a comment. Don't forget, I do have these linked down below. This particular layout, it's available in 3 sizes over on my website, and that is ScrappyWife.com, and the link will be in the description box below. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Consider hitting that subscribe button as well as the bell notification button. I'd love to give a huge shout out to my Patreon family. You all are just the best. We have such a great time over on Patreon doing all kinds of creative projects. If you want to join us, it's never too late. Head on over to patreon.com/ScrappyWife to find out more. All right. I hope that you have a fabulous day. And as always, keep it creative.